Alabama football hits the road this weekend for their SEC opener. The Tide travels to Columbia to take on South Carolina. The Crimson Tide and Gamecocks have met only 15 times, with Alabama holding a 12-3 all-time series advantage. The last time Alabama and South Carolina met was in 2010 in Columbia. The Gamecocks upset the #1 ranked Crimson Tide 35-21. But a lot has changed since then. Steve Spurrier is no longer on the sidelines in Columbia. The Gamecocks are now led by Will Muschamp. In his 4th year at South Carolina, Muschamp has a 23-18 record. His 22 wins in his first 3 years at South Carolina is more than any coach in Gamecock history. Muschamp and Coach Saban are very familiar with one another. Muschamp served as defensive coordinator under Coach Saban at LSU from 2001 through 2004 and with the Miami Dolphins in 2005. Muschamp is 0-2 against Coach Saban, with both losses coming with Muschamp as head coach of the Florida Gators. This season, South Carolina enters the matchup 1-1. The Gamecocks never trailed against North Carolina in the season opener until the Tar Heels scored the game-winning touchdown with just 8 minutes left in the contest. North Carolina scored 15 unanswered points for the 24-20 comeback victory. Last week, South Carolina bounced back as the Gamecocks set school records with 493 rushing yards and 775 yards of total offense in the 72-10 win over Charleston Southern. Returning starting quarterback Jake Bentley was injured on the final play of the game against North Carolina. That opened the door for true freshman Ryan Hilinski. In his first career start last week against Charleston Southern, Hilinski completed 24 of 30 passes for 282 yards and 2 touchdowns with 1 interception.
Freshman quarterback out there. He's a good athlete. He's got a good arm. He was very accurate. He made good decisions. He got rid of the ball. He got the ball out of his hand quickly. And he executed the offense extremely well.
Alabama leads the SEC in total offense, averaging 557 yards per game. But South Carolina is close behind, tied with LSU for second with 522 total yards per contest. That is due to the Gamecocks' SEC leading rushing attack. South Carolina leads the league, averaging 9 yards per carry and 310 yards per game. Freshman Kevin Harris leads the Gamecocks, averaging a ridiculous 24.5 yards per carry for 147 yards per game. Defensively, South Carolina has not allowed a touchdown in the first 3 quarters, outscoring their opponents 71-12. And in the red zone, Carolina has allowed just 2 touchdowns in 6 red zone attempts. While Coach Saban is 2-0 against Will Muschamp, he is 16-0 against his former assistants collectively. And since that loss to South Carolina in 2010, the Tide has been undefeated against SEC teams from the Eastern Division, winning 24 in a row. Kickoff in Columbia is scheduled for 2:30 Central. The game will be broadcast nationally on CBS. Reporting from the Crimson Tide production studio inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, I'm Christopher England with Tide TV.